Tim Collins with Cullman today. I'm out with Edwin Carter. He is a board member and knows this place, Camp Meadowbrook, like the back of his hand. Edwin, where does this all start?
Back some 40-something years ago, Mr. Kilgo, Reese, and it was his wife, they used to have a camp out here every summer for kids, and they'd have kids to come in and stay like a week, and then another bunch come in, and all summer long. They got in the position where they were not able to do this, and they called Mr. Boyd, who was superintendent of education at that time, and I was on the school board at that time.
Now this is back, I guess, 1970,
yeah,
somewhere in there.
Right. And they wanted us to come over to Huntsville and talk to them about this camp out here. So we go over to Huntsville, and what they want us to do is they want to give it to the Cullman County Board of Education for a camp for the educational people. Of course, Mr. Boyd and I listened to them, came back to Cullman, talked a little bit coming back, and Mr. Boyd said, Edwin says, I know that that's going to be a good thing out there, but says, really, we're not set up to handle something like that in the school system. Says, do you know anybody that would be? I said, well, I'm on the Cullman County Soil and Water Conservation District as a supervisor, and I think we might be interested. So I talked to our supervisor, and we were interested. So we sat down with the Kilgos, and they gave the camp to us at that time. It was a small area at that time, nothing as big as it is now. And it started off with just two little...
Well, I see those two buildings
yeah.
in the background there. They look like, one looks like it might have been a restroom or a bathhouse. The other one's cabin or something.
None of those buildings, let's see, I'll take that back. The one on this end, there was three buildings, like the one on this end, on the end down, that's something we built later on. There was three little bunkhouses down there.
I see. And
down about where that power line pole is, there was a dining hall.
Okay.
Just a simple dining hall.
I follow you.
And that was it. There was no other buildings here.
Now, what did you have in the way of water out here at that time? Just was it a little creek or what?
We had a well here that he had been using, for the camp. Of course, the creek down below here was that Brindley Creek was always been here. We went ahead and got a water line run over here from the public water system over on the road over yonder, and eventually shut the well down. Then there was a swimming pool down in that area just below that last bunkhouse down there. And of course, the swimming pool, we couldn't operate it because it was too much liability. We didn't have to have all that insurance and
Sure. Makes sense.
And all. It was just too much of a liability to operate. So we sort of closed it down, and over the period of time, we made a wetland out of it. Now, a wetland is a sewer system that replaces field lines and all, out in a rural area for sewer disposal. Of course, what it did, it went into that swimming pool, which had different cells in it, and went through it, and it came out the other end of it clean.
How about that?
And every year we had to, replant different kind of plants in there to take up the minerals and all that was coming out of it, and the metals. And of course, after the tornado hit here, then we...
Now that's the 2011 tornado.
That's correct, right? Yes, sir. When it hit, it tore up everything pretty well, except the two buildings that's left down there.
It looks like we've got a kind of a barn type structure in the distance.
That's right. It was here at that time.
But where we're standing right now, there was nothing left.
Nothing left, and all the trees were pretty well gone. And so then we set out to redo this out here, and we had some insurance money. Of course, we've had some help from the Cullman County Commission, and other people have helped us. Alabama Mountain Rivers and Valleys RC&D Council has helped, some out here on different things. But through a process, we started and built the building that you see behind us here. There's the main building now. And of course, we went ahead and sort of started cleaning up, and we've planted some trees back, not a lot, but we have planted some trees back. And
well, now you've got lakes, streams, there's walking trails, stone benches. This is beautiful.
That's correct. Now we also have down below the bunkhouse down there, there's a wetland down there that people, not familiar with wetlands. They can go down and walk out on it. We have
How about that?
wood trails out on it to where they can go out and look at a wetland. And of course, before all the trees was blown away, we had several walking trails with trees identified where people could come and go through and and look at a tree, and it had a sign telling you what kind of tree it was.
How about that?
Learn to identify trees and all. But we've used this mostly for an educational camp for the county schools, and of course, that was the purpose of it when we took it from the Kilgos. That's what they wanted it to be used for.
Well, the building you've got now, you can do everything. You can have events, weddings, you name it. It's first class in there.
It is. It really is, and it's we're very fortunate to have people that have helped us get this building. Of course, Traditions Bank has been very instrumental in helping get the building back in operation.
So where do you see this property and this project going as time moves forward the next 5-10 years?
Well, it's going to be a situation where I guess it's going to depend on how much money becomes available. Money's kind of hard to come by nowadays, and we had plans in the drawing of the new facility here for some spots out to my right out here for camping, motorhome parking places and things like that. Of course, we planned on having a tent camping area down toward the creek down here, and use it, for family events, for scouts, for educating and helping people to become more adapted to nature.
Well, this seems like a beautiful area to do that, and you keep this pretty well under lock and key until somebody comes in and signs up. You can't just wander around aimlessly alone out here, can you?
No, we can't. We can't do that. We do have it gated, and we have a person in our office who comes out, and looks after it and all, and he's responsible for it.
So, if somebody wanted to contact you guys as far as scheduling an event or an activity or an educational tour, just call the Cullman the Cullman Soil and Water Conservation District.
That's correct.
Okay.
Call and talk to any of our people at the office there.